Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we're going to be talking about Catfish, the TV show, Season 8, Episode 63, which is Catfish's 200th episode. I can't believe after 10 years of the show being on, we have reached 200 episodes of Catfish. That is crazy. So, as I said in my last Catfish video, 10 years of the show being on and people are still catfishing. Kind of crazy. I love the show, but the reality is, it's kind of ridiculous being a catfish, stealing people's pictures and pretending to be somebody that you're not. Really, I think it's a form of identity theft, but that's just my opinion. But nonetheless, I do love the show. So, with it to being 200 episode, before we get into the episode, the show starts out celebrating its 200th episode. And even Cammy come into the office where a surprise guest was waiting for them with some cake. And that surprise guest was the original co-host, Max. Everybody loves Max. I liked Max. He was a fan favorite. People actually like Max better than Eve, to be honest. So you guys remember Max left the show back in season 7. He wanted to take care of some personal projects that he was doing on his own, being a film director and everything. So he had left the show and replaced him with Cammy Crawford. And I personally love Cammy. I think that was the perfect replacement for Max, but it was nice to see Max show up at the episode last night. So they read the email. The episode is called Ivy and Dante. Ivy has been in a 5-year relationship with a poetic professional named Dante. They fell in love. Ivy had mentioned she was in a car accident before. She survived that, thank God. And, they had genuine feelings for her, but they never video chatted or met up in person. The typical catfish start out story. You're not video chatting, and they keep refusing to meet up. So Neve and Cammy go meet Ivy. She gives them the details about their relationship. So they had to do their investigation. Their investigation was a little bit short than normal. They could not find anything. They ran the pictures, ran the phone number. When they ran the phone number, they found an older gentleman. Because the guy claimed that he was a correctional officer somewhere, and they found somebody that I think it was in the phone number that it was an older gentleman that was doing the same thing. It was kind of ironic that sometimes when they do the investigation, it leads to somebody who's married or who's older and stuff. I don't know how it always does that. It's always like a little glitch when they do that, but it really wasn't the older gentleman that they found out. So an older married gentleman. So they go back and tell Ivy, their news. They showed her that, it could possibly be this older married man. And she was like, what? Why can't you tell me the truth? But, again, usually when that happens, that's never normally the case. So it really wasn't. So Neve decides to call Dante, and he doesn't answer. So Neve and Cammy head out for the night. And they're at the hotel. They message, and they called Ivy to see if she's heard anything from Dante. And Ivy said, yeah, I have. And he said he could meet with us. And even Cammy were just like, great, but that's kind of weird all of a sudden, because now that we're in town that you want to meet, they like it easy, but, it can't be that easy. So something's a little fishy, but they played into it. So Neve and Cammy and Ivy agreed to let him meet up. So they actually went down to West Monroe, Louisiana, I think was the city where he was at. So he gave him an address. They went all the way down to Louisiana to meet him. They show up at a park. He's already sitting at a bench. And the meeting, the very first meeting was the most shyest person I've ever seen. It was really shy. It was really emotional. I felt like they meet, and the guy, it wasn't the guy in the pictures, but the guy had his head down the whole time. And they go to him like, "Are you Dante?" And he has his head down like, "Yes." And he was really quiet. He was like basically quiet and shy, the whole time. You know, Ivy sees him and then she starts crying and everything. Neve and Cammy try to talk to him and see what he's really like. He said like everything he's told Ivy was the truth other than the pictures. And he wasn't a bad looking dude. He wasn't a bad looking dude, So I don't know why he catfished her. He wasn't a bad looking dude. So he just basically had to sit down, and Cammy pulled Neve to the side and saying, you know what? Out of all the episodes of Catfish we've done, I've never seen anybody who's more sorry than this guy. So this guy, I felt like he felt really sorry for what he did. So after the first meeting, they go out, they go to a restaurant to like get more out of him because he didn't say much or do much at the first meeting. So they go to a cafe. It's revealed that his real name is actually Joe and not Dante. His name is Joe. And Joe mentions that in 2019, he was walking and then he fell and he called a friend and the friend came and got him and stuff. I think he had a stroke. And he said that, recovering from that, if his friend wasn't there, he probably wouldn't be here today. And, so that and COVID, kind of took a toll on him and stuff, So that's all we basically got out of him, And then he wrote Ivy a poem, which was pretty nice. It was a lovely poem, and Neve, everybody was saying he is really good with words. He is really good with words. So Ivy is like, you know what? I can forgive. Like we'll be friends for now and see where it goes. We'll see what the future holds. So they leave, and then the 2-month update. Ivy comes back and says, they don't that she cut him off. They don't talk no more. It's just, not getting much out of him and stuff. So it's unfortunate. And then, Joe comes on and says, I do feel relieved that it's over. It's sad, but I do feel fine that it's over and stuff. But this episode, I was really pulling for them. I thought we could have had a love story, and we didn't. I did feel bad for Joe. He had his head down the entire time when they met, and I just think that he really was sorry for catfishing her. I wish it would have worked out. It didn't work out. So it wasn't, for it to be in the 200th episode, it wasn't like the most exciting episode of Catfish ever, but I like to see love on TV, so I rather see love stories than like heartbreak all the time. So that was that. So thank you guys for watching. That was Catfish the TV show recap. I'll be doing another one next week, so be tuned for more videos. I'll be back on Saturday when I do my first recap of Love in Paradise on Discovery Plus, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys. Have a great day.